Clayton Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I rise to take a call on the clause number 2 for this bill that we're sitting here, the KiwiSaver Budget Measures Bill. And Mr Chair, I think there are some supplementary order papers on the table that are fair and reasonable. And let's be honest, what we're asking with these supplementary order papers in particular is for National to keep it real. Keep it real for New Zealanders about what you're actually doing here. You're quick on the hip when it comes to taking away legislative changes and very, very slow to give back those changes. What we're asking, sir, and I spoke to it earlier on with my comments, is thinking about those people, giving them enough time to actually go in and register for the KiwiSaver. That's not fair or unreasonable. That's not unfair or unreasonable to ask that, I should say. You know, and I'd certainly like to get the words from the Minister, and you'll be pleased to see there, Mr Chair, that I'm wearing my pink tie, so I am impervious to insult and injury today because, of course, this is my bully-proof suit. So I look forward to hearing from Simon Bridges. However, I would like to say being fair and reasonable is absolutely what this government should be, and does it stand scrutiny, because what they're doing is taking away so quickly, ripping the carpet from underneath those New Zealanders that need to be looked out for. And they're dressing it up and putting a bow around it, and in actual fact, they're just putting lipstick on a pig. This does not fit in with what National say, standing up and being a voice for New Zealanders, because apart from the absolute brain constipation that I get from the verbal diarrhoea from the other side of the House from time to time, and specifically talking to you there, Mr Bennett, we need to make sure that we are giving the people of New Zealand enough time to react to this quick, off-the-hip legislation change. You know, we've got a supplementary order paper in there by my colleague here, Mr Fletcher Tabuteau, which makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. It's common sense to give people at least 2 years to make some changes to get themselves into that program. And in fact, we've got it from Labor and we've got it from the Greens as well, to even narrow that down from even to 1 year would be acceptable and we would support. Goodness me, we'd support 90 days if this government saw the sense of what they're doing. Well, you need to give the people of New Zealand some time to get in and get adjusted to this legislation, which has been force-fed down our mouths. We're in urgency at the moment on a Saturday morning, and I'm sure there's many, many people at home absolutely riveted like the All Blacks watching a test, watching this debate. This afternoon it is already. Goodness me, it feels like I've just arrived. Yeah. You know, when I look at the indebtedness of this country, with $19,511 as of Tuesday, which has now gone up to about $20,000 per New Zealander. It is more indebtedness than Kaipara Harbour was, per population of $10,500, which sent them to the wall. And now all of a sudden, this legislation, you're taking more money away from New Zealanders, making it harder for that debt to be repaid for our future. New Zealand's future is at serious risk. We spoke about the curve of an aged population, a very skinny working population and a very large growing young population, which we're going to have to manage and maintain through schemes such as the KiwiSaver and the kickstarting program. 66% of people signed up to KiwiSaver because of that $1,000 kickstart. Many, many people. I mean, I was fortunate enough to sign up into an AMP life insurance whole-of-life policy when I was 19 years old because it made sense, because there was nothing else that this government was going to offer us, because back then...
I'm going to invite the member to come back to the
come back to the time.
Thank you.
I'm going to come back to the time. Yeah, you know. Rightio. So, Mr Speaker, the reason why the bill we put through, the name change, was for the #NoFuture, was because that is a time. If we don't think about thinking of the future of our constituents, of the people of New Zealand, time will be running out. So I absolutely think that this government should be supporting, giving those people a longer period of time to actually sign themselves up to KiwiSaver. To retrospectively say that last Thursday that was a cut-off point is absolutely wrong. And I'd love to hear from the Minister, Simon Bridges, to see how he can justify that. He's nodding his head agreeingly. It sounds like he might take a call. We would certainly like to hear it. And just remember my pink suit and pink tie on today, so hit me with all of your best insults. Thank you, Mr Chair.
Adrian Rurewhai.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman, speaking to the commencement clause, if I was to choose a date